1975, there was a guaranteed path to the middle class. Finish high school, get a stable job, put your money in a savings account, show up every day, retire with enough. That math worked. In 2026, that exact same math is a guaranteed failure. Same steps, same logic, completely different result. And the terrifying part? Your brain doesn't know the math changed. Your brain is running an outdated operating system. It thinks it's keeping you safe, but it's actually deleting your future, one responsible decision at a time. Today, we're going to expose the certainty trap, the exact reason why your biological need for a guaranteed paycheck is the most expensive mistake you will ever make. Not because you're lazy, not because you're stupid, because your brain is running 1975 math in a 2026 world. And the numbers don't lie. Here is a math problem your brain gets wrong every single time. You have $100. I offer you two choices. Choice A, I give you $100 for certain. Choice B, a 50-50 coin flip. Heads, you get $200. Tails, you get nothing. Mathematically, those choices are identical. The expected value is $100 either way. But 84% of people choose choice A every time. Because your brain is not doing math. Your brain is doing survival. This is loss aversion, and the data is brutal. Losing $100 feels psychologically twice as painful as gaining $100 feels good. That is not a personality flaw. That is evolutionary engineering. 200,000 years ago, that math saved your life. The cave dweller who avoided the uncertain path, who stuck to the known trail, the familiar food, the safe territory, survived. The one who took risks died more often. So your brain encoded a rule. Certainty equals survival. Uncertainty equals death. That rule is 200,000 years old, and you are using it to make financial decisions in 2026. Here is where it becomes a glitch. Loss aversion was built for a world of immediate physical danger. A tiger either kills you or it doesn't. The result is instant. But compound interest doesn't work in an instant. Inflation doesn't announce itself at the cave entrance. Opportunity cost is invisible. Your brain cannot feel a 4% real return loss the way it feels a tiger. So it doesn't protect you from it. The math of fear was built for tigers. It has no defense against slow, invisible, mathematically certain poverty. Let's talk about the most expensive number in personal finance. It is not your interest rate. It is not your tax bracket. It is the number that never appears on your bank statement. It is called opportunity cost, and it is the price of every safe decision you have ever made. Here's the math. You take $10,000 at age 25 and put it in a savings account at 0.5%. At age 65, you have $12,200. You take that same $10,000 and invest it in a broad index fund averaging 10% annually. At age 65, you have $452,000. The safety gap on a single $10,000 decision made at age 25 is $440,000. That is not a rounding error. That is a retirement. And the safe choice feels responsible. The safe choice feels like the smart choice. That is the trap. The bank isn't selling you safety. The bank is buying your potential at a 99% discount. You hand them the seed, they grow the tree. They keep the harvest. They hand you a leaf and call it interest. Now, let's talk about careers. The safe career path has its own math, and it is just as brutal. The person who stays in the stable, predictable job for 20 years earns a salary that grows linearly. They get 3% raises, they get a cost of living adjustment, they accumulate years of service. The person who builds a skill, takes the uncomfortable risk, starts the side project, launches the business. Their income curve does not look like a line. At year 5, the safe path is winning. The safe career pays more.
the risk path is still in the uncertain early stages. This is where loss aversion kills futures. Because at year 5, the math of the next 30 years already belongs to the exponential curve, but your brain only sees year 5. Your brain sees the certain paycheck beating the uncertain one, and it says, stay. The opportunity cost of that one safe decision is not measurable in a single number. It compounds every year you don't make the other choice. And there is one more hidden cost nobody talks about. We call it the time glitch. At the 7-minute mark, we are going to look at why playing it safe actually makes your life more dangerous as you get older. Not less dangerous. More.
Here is what they will never put in the brochure. Certainty is not a gift. Certainty is a product. It is manufactured and sold to you by institutions that need your compliance. Your bank needs you to value safety, so they can take your safe deposits and make high-yield bets with them. That is the fractional reserve system. That is the net interest margin. Your employer needs you to value a stable salary, so you stay, so you accept 3%, so you don't leave and build something that competes with them. Your government needs you to park money in low-yield bonds and savings accounts because that capital funds the national debt at your expense. They don't sell you certainty because it's good for you. They sell you certainty because it is profitable for them. And here is the time glitch. When you are 25 and playing it safe, the risk of failure is low. You recover fast. Time is on your side. A failed business at 25 is a story you tell at 35. But every year you play it safe, your recovery window shrinks. At 45, a failed bet with no savings is a crisis. At 55, it is a catastrophe. Playing it safe at 25 is not low risk. It is the highest risk decision you can make because it burns the only asset you can never replace: time. Now look at the math of the two growth systems side by side. The safe play is linear. $50,000 salary, 3% raises, 40 years of service. The risk path is exponential. Slow start, uncertainty, but the curve bends. And once the exponential curve bends, it does not stop. The safe line never bends. That is not safety. That is a ceiling. And your brain calls the ceiling comfortable because it is predictable. Your brain would rather have a guaranteed $50,000 than an uncertain $500,000. That is not wisdom. That is the certainty trap doing exactly what it was designed to do.
I am not telling you to gamble. I am not telling you to quit your job tomorrow or put everything into a volatile asset. I am telling you to recalibrate what you call safe. Because right now, your definition of safe is costing you everything. The truly dangerous move is staying on the linear path, while inflation, opportunity cost, and time compound against you silently, with no alarm, no tiger, no warning your brain can detect. Stop letting your caveman brain do your 21st century math. Your 200,000-year-old survival instincts were not designed for compound interest. They were not designed for index funds or equity or the power of a skill that scales. They were designed for tigers. There are no tigers anymore. There is only math. And if you want to see exactly how this plays out in your bank account, the mathematical proof that the system has been selling you safety while draining your future, your next video is ready. It is called Your Savings Account is a Donation. It is the math of exactly how much your safe savings account has already cost you and why the bank thanks you every single year for your compliance. Watch. Your savings account is a donation. The math doesn't lie. Your brain does.